Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Arced Sword, which you can get by using the Soul of the Flexile Sentry. Now this weapon is one of a few curved greatswords in the game, and they're all relatively similar. This one, however, a lot of people generally tend to use just because they like the way it looks more than anything else. Now, getting started with the weapon, it requires 26 strength and 16 dexterity in order to wield. It has a C scaling in strength and an A in dexterity. The physical base damage of the weapon is 360, and for me, the attack rating is 561 Withering of Blades. The counter strength of the weapon is 110. Poise damage of the weapon is 45 per hit, and the weight is 14 units. Now, I would have to say that the biggest pro of this weapon would definitely be the moveset, and as I said, it's very similar to all other movesets for weapons in its class. Very minor differences, just because of the fact that the curved Dragon Greatsword, well, that's got a shockwave, and the curved Nil Greatsword is a bit more spinny. So, really, this thing, it's the same as the Murakumo, it just looks different. It's got a slightly different scaling, and slightly lower stat requirements. So really, is it that worth using? I mean, if you're limiting your stats, sure. But no one does that in this game, so not really. The pros of the weapon, though, the moveset is definitely the biggest one. Other pros would be the fact that it does some pretty good damage, and you can do some really nice combos with this thing. It's not that they're very difficult to do, but when you do them, the moveset is so nice and flowing, they just look more impressive than they really are. So that's always a good thing. It makes you feel good when you think about what you did and when you see it again. So that's not something to complain about for sure. I'd say that's a pro. Other than that, though, I mean, you've got your high counter damage, or not counter damage, but your high critical damage. I kind of forgot how powerful criticals were in New Game Plus, because I've been on New Game for quite a while, and going back to New Game Plus and nearly one-shotting people, yeah, I kind of forgot how powerful criticals could be. So there's that. But overall, it's a really straightforward weapon. It's essentially the same as the Murakumo, which is relatively commonly used, although not so much anymore. The cons of the weapon, I would have to say that the only one that I can really think of is more of just a lack of skill on my part. I have a really bad habit of accidentally bumping the left thumbstick just slightly enough out of the way so that the weapon misses my opponent. Because you can free aim slightly with this weapon, you can do things like that, and it's just something to get used to. It's a really good thing for the weapon to have, but it can also hurt you, and I've lost a few matches because of it, so it is what it is. You just gotta take it with a grain of salt and keep it in mind when you're fighting. Because, I mean, if you don't, well, you'll miss all the time, and you'll get yourself into a lot of trouble, and that's not really worth it. It's just not worth it at all. So, there's that. Other things about the weapon that I can mention, I feel like it's slightly longer than the Murakumo, although that might just be my imagination, and I might just be thinking that because of the way the weapon looks. Honestly, I really don't know, but it feels like it is when I use this thing. So I just figured I'd throw that in as well. Anyway, that's actually really all I've got to say about this weapon. As I said, it's very straightforward. It's really easy to use. Running attacks aren't great for chasing people down or anything, but you can get some nice looking combos with them. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this last fight, and I will see you all next time.